We got a gap on the left. Look how quickly the student had to make that decision. The van didn't want to wait. He quickly pushed us in and we were forced to move to the left. We were quick enough to react. And look what happens again. This orange looking car, goldish looking car was doing some maneuver, and again we had to be ready. As a driving examiner, they expect students to understand that it's where it's raining. You have to react to the conditions. Our student has to make a decision. In the test, this is what I'll do. I would apologize to the examiner. I'll say, sir, madam, I'm turning. This mistake is actually very, very common. As a student, you might think, watching the video, actually it was so easy. How did this guy make the mistake? If you guys got a test coming up, or you're about to take your driving lessons, or want an idea of what a driving test is like, then definitely watch this video to the end. We've got so many examples, real life examples, how you're going to avoid making major faults in your driving test, how you're going to impress that driving examiner, how will you pass your driving test. So watch it to the end. We're going to show you exactly what you should be doing in your driving test to make that examiner give you that pass certificate. Please guys, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. It's only a button but it makes a big difference to our channel, so show some love. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Okay, we can see a cycling in this situation. We're going straight on the roundabout second exit now. A good student would automatically be thinking about left mirror checks because I need to make sure nobody's cutting in on my left side. Also, I should be thinking about if the lane split up, make sure I'm on the left lane. So here, you're going to example lane splitting up. Check your left mirror, interior left. Get yourself into the left lane now. Some students here would make the mistake because there's no road markings here to go through the center of the roundabout, but make sure, like the student here, going across around the edge of the roundabout itself. So very good roundabout in this situation. Let me just re-emphasize that point. So when you come up to a roundabout, there's no road markings. Hog the lane. Imagine there's a lane marking and follow the shape of the roundabout. Do not cut across, because if the road is wide enough, another car would squeeze in because the road is wide enough, and they'll treat it as another lane. So follow the curvature of the roundabout when there's no road markings on the roundabout itself. Here guys, let me know what you would do in your driving test or your driving lesson. As we're driving, watch what happens. Do you think my student made the right decision? Let me know the answer please, and then we'll give you the answer ourselves. As a driving examiner, they expect students to understand that it's where it's raining. You have to react to the conditions of the road. If you were to stop suddenly because the lights change at this situation, it would be an abrupt stop and you may affect the cars behind. So it was a correct decision to just carry on driving. In this example, we're going to show you good and bad. We're going to show you how the examiner will be happy with the decision made, but also how you would fail. Literally, the student would fail for making this mistake. So as we get around this roundabout, we're taking the first exit. We're looking obviously to the right. If it's clear, this black car is blocking the cars on the right, so we're going through. We're going straight again. Watch what happens. The red car is going across. My student thought, let me quickly make it, but you can see the Mercedes. We're going to pause it. Look at our position where we are, where the Mercedes is, and how quickly the red car went through. So it was a really bad decision. Once we play, you'll see the student makes it through. But did we affect the Mercedes? When you're this close to the Mercedes, absolutely you have. Even if you made it through, you might think as a driver, "Oh, I made it. No one's really hurt or anything." But the examiner will fail you straight away, and you probably won't know any better. Now, why did that happen? He mistakenly used a red car as a blocker, but unfortunately, it was just one car. It's a small roundabout. It wasn't enough time, and we've affected this Mercedes, so it would be a major fault. But a good decision was made afterwards where, if you look here, we moved across to the right lane. Why did that happen? Because of the arrows on the floor. The student was quick enough to notice the arrows on the floor. In the exam, you have to assume you're going straight unless the examiner says otherwise. So had we be on the left lane and then spotted the arrows, now we may have to go the wrong route, off the wrong route, and the examiner will be slightly annoyed because they do not want to go off the route. So again, it was a really quick and good decision, but this was after committing a major fault. Unfortunately, you would have got a major fault by affecting other road users and taking over their priorities. This mistake is actually very, very common. As a student, you might think, watching the video, actually it was so easy. How did this guy make the mistake? When you start driving and you're in your driving lesson or even in your driving test and you got an examiner watching every single move, you're watching the road ahead, and look, you're looking at the bus, you're looking ahead, and watch what happens. The cars are moving, but the student, look, he's driving forward, 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 and he gets on top of the zebra crossing and he's had to stop because there's nowhere to go. Maybe he could have edged in, but the back of the car is sticking out. Why did this mistake happen? Because one of the most common reason why this could happen is, and my students tell me this, which is they think the cars are moving. They say to me, but the cars are slowly rolling forward, so we assume that they're gonna roll forward. No, we do not assume this. As you're driving, first look for the gap. If they're driving slowly forward, let them go forward. Let there be space past the zebra crossing and then wait. Really bad decision. And if this was an exam, it's a possible major fault up to the examiner. Sometimes they might be a bit lenient and decide no one's crossing, but 99% of the time it will be a major fault. And look, we can even play you our audio. We don't really want to play the students' audio, but they don't mind. So in this situation, just like any other student, they would say the same thing when I ask them, "How did you miss the zebra crossing?" The excuse would be, "We thought the driver was gonna go." Just so you know, look where you stopped. You stopped on the zebra crossing.
Yeah, I actually saw the zebra crossing, but
Why did you go then?
because I didn't think that the truck was going to stop, obviously.
But as we're driving, you'll notice a few things now. We got a bend coming up towards us. The way we'll know is the lines on the floor. So you can see these lines, therefore you have to move towards the right. As we get there, you'll notice, as we get there, the right seems quite clear. But watch what happens here. Our student comes to a stop. Maybe they couldn't see on the right because of the blue van. But once they get through, we got a gap on the left. Look how quickly the student had to make that decision. The van didn't want to wait. He quickly pushed us in and we were forced to move to the left. We were quick enough to react. And look what happens again. This orange looking car, goldish looking car was doing some maneuver. And again, we had to be ready to react. Credit to the student to quickly react to the van driver and move to the left. There was a little gap to the left. Again, we couldn't see, but we were ready to make that decision. These are unusual situations and hazards that occur when you're driving, and in your test, it could happen easily to any one of us. And as an examiner, we'll be extremely happy with the quick feet, the quick reaction, the correct decision, the safe decision, spotting things quickly and in advance and reacting to it. So, again, credit to the student, the examiner will be extremely impressed with this action. Right at the beginning of your driving test, the examiner will say to you, assume you're going straight unless we say otherwise. So they're not going to keep telling you go straight, go straight, go straight. In fact, it's extremely frustrating for an examiner to keep saying that. So they say to you, assume you're going straight. Now, when you come up to roads, you're going to have to notice road markings on the floor. The examiner will not help you out unless it's unclear. So if you do not notice that, they will get extremely upset, annoyed, angry because it's not their job to tell you. And if you look here on the floor, the left goes left only and the right lane goes straight. The other assumption is the left lane usually goes straight, doesn't it? That's the assumption that we should be teaching you as instructors. But in this case, the right lane goes straight. You have to be the one that spots the arrows and make the correct decision by going into the correct lane. Here as we're driving, you can see parked cars on the left, and the student obviously in the first example moved back into the correct lane to go straight. In this situation, we're forced to be on the right lane because of the parked cars, but as soon as there appears a gap, we should have assumed what? We should have assumed the left lane goes straight. We should make the assumption we're going straight, and watch what happens. And this is again very common because of the parked cars. You're on the right lane and you're driving, and you forget to move back into the left lane as soon as you see the gap because it's a natural thing. You're not used to driving regularly. You've had minimum amount of hours compared to someone with loads of years of experience. But you have to be quick, you have to be sharp, you have to be alert, you have to recognize I'm in the right lane, even despite all the traffic and the left lane build up and the left lane being blocked off. You have to recognize, okay, as soon as there's a gap, let me move back in case the left lane goes straight and the right doesn't. So here you'll see as the traffic moves forward, our student stays on the right lane. Bad mistake. And look on the floor now, you can see the right goes right only and the left goes straight. So now we're stuck on the right lane. unless you were told to go right, then of course you can be on the right lane. So in this situation now, what did we do? Our student has to make a decision. In the test, this is what I'll do. I would apologize to the examiner. I'll say, sir, madam, I'm turning right. I'm in the incorrect lane. The examiner now may say to you, do what you want. If they say that to you, then the safest decision is to indicate right and go right. If they say to you, actually, let's see if we can somehow cut back in, indicate left and cut back in, please. And if they say that to you, that means they want to carry on with their route. They realize this student is smart enough. They understand the mistake that they've committed now. They're now planning to go right safely. So they know that you've made the safest decision, but now they want to be back on the route. So they may now intervene and tell you, can you actually come back left? It's not counted as a major fault in this situation. Let me know about any of your difficulties you're facing in your driving tests or lessons or whatever, even the theory. Comment below, let me know, and we'll try to answer it. If you like that video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It's only a button, but it makes a big difference to our channel. So show some love. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Watch our other videos where we make videos on how to pass a driving test first time, how to impress our driving examiners, how to pass a theory test. So catch you on our playlist, and you can always check our website out, fmdrivingschool.co.uk.